Perfect. All right, today's going to be a little bit short today. We don't have a form that's very long. We're going to go over the referral agreement, the RFA. This one was updated in June of this year, and we haven't really gone over it. They did some nice upgrades that made it a little bit easier to understand and fill out. So I'm going to go over those for you. Why refer? Referring your client to an agent in a different area or state is an excellent way to ensure they receive quality care when you are unable to assist. Additionally, you will still receive some compensation for your efforts. Okay, so obviously we would refer to a different state if our client's moving away. And sometimes it's not in the best interest of our client if we aren't from the area where they're moving, even in California. So it is nice to refer to a local expert in their area for them to get the best assistance. So that's why they've created referrals. Okay, the California Referral Fee Agreement form. Again, this was just updated in June of this year. They changed some words around because it used to talk about referring broker, referral broker. They used very similar words, and it was quite confusing to a lot of agents of which one am I? Am I getting the client? Am I giving it? So they thankfully made it a little more clear. So this first section is identification of persons and entities. So the referring broker, then they put in parentheses, the broker getting paid for referring a client or a customer. And see how it says principal under there. The principal is your client. So let's say in this instance, you have a client who is moving out of state, then you are the referring broker. And notice that line says broker firm name. You're going to put Century 21 Jordan Link there, not your name. Your name is going to go on the line right below it, referring agent, if any. That means you don't have to fill that out if you don't want to, but you should to make sure that you get the check. The address is the office address. Phone number can be your phone number and your email. Representing broker, that's the broker paying the fee and the one that is representing your client. Okay, so representing broker, they're the ones that are going to have their BRBC with them. If they are a buyer that you're referring, they're the one that's going to have the listing agreement. If you're giving them a seller, so you would put that brokerage firm. You could stick with someone at another Century 21 nationwide, or if you have done your due diligence and vetted several agents and found one that you think is a great fit for your client, that's the one you choose. You put their brokerage name there. It does not have to be another brokerage within your mother broker. Okay, so, and then you're going to put their name there, referring agent or representing agent, if any. That way you've done your due diligence, you found that one, you're referring it to their brokerage, but you're going to put their name there specifically so that make sure that they get it. Okay, and then the principal, that is your client. You're going to give them your client's name, your client's address, phone number, and email so they can get in contact with them. Any questions on identifying who the parties are?
Thank goodness you did.
I know, I always think that that's confusing.
Yeah, they redid it, so it's a little more clear now, which I like. So just read the parentheses, it reiterates there for you. All right, section 1 is the agreement, referral fee. In consideration for the referral of principal from referring broker, representing broker agrees to pay referring broker as follows. Okay, that's a lot of words there. Basically, it's saying, hey, cool, you're going to give me this client? Okay, I'm going to pay you a percentage of what I make off of this escrow. Okay, so in section A, you get to choose. Is that going to be a percentage that you ask for, or are you going to do a flat fee? Okay, depending on what type of situation it is, if it's maybe a vacant lot and a percentage would end up being really low, you might do a flat fee there instead. Okay, and then B, such compensation is owed if principal enters or has already entered into a contract to, and then check all that apply. So you're going to identify if you're getting a referral for if they buy, if they sell, if they lease, or other. And you can actually check all three of these. You don't just have to pick one. Let's say they're going to sell a house and they're going to buy another. You can click both buy and sell, and you will get a referral for both of those.
That's
Okay.
cool.
Yeah. And then notice it says in 1B that it applies if the client has already entered into a contract or not. So let's say you haven't really been on top of it and gotten this to them prior to them going into escrow, you can still negotiate that with the agent.
Is that new, the one that where you can check the buyer now?
It was always in there. It was just it was kind of hidden. Yeah, you had to really read it and check multiple places. So they made this a little more streamlined. Okay, any questions about this section? Yeah, Vince.
So what, it's just a general question. So what's the going rate for referrals at 25%? Because it always seems like it's more when it's coming from the Bay Area our way.
I
That's like-
think 25% is a little bit low now, honestly, from what I'm seeing.
I'm seeing 35% a lot.
Yeah, and honestly, Zillow leads, they're paying
Yeah,
40%.
that's what I was gonna ask you,
Mhm.
because when it comes this way, it seems like it's more, but when we're going that way, it's almost 25.
Well, you can put any amount you want in there.
Okay, well, we got that, and it's on recording, okay.
35 a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, properties, section 2, properties or transactions covered. Compensation is payable for the transactions specified in 1B, that's what we just looked for, or we just looked at. So it's buy, sell, lease, or other. So we're talking about that. And now the standard is 2A, only for the first property transaction specified. Okay, so that's it. However, you can change that. So just be aware of what's going on with your property, with your client. If you know they're going to sell a property and they're going to buy, or maybe they're an investor and they're going to buy multiple homes, and you want to be paid on multiple homes, not just the very first one, then you need to check a box. Okay. Now 2B, if you check that, you're going to write in a property address right there, but it says for the following property only. Okay, so that would be the one and only. If you have the listing, and you would actually write the listing address in that top section when you're filling out, I'll go back right here, the principal's address. Okay, and then over here, if there's going to be multiple, then you would go ahead and check C for any and all property transactions specified in 1B during the term of this agreement. Thank you. Okay, so now this is up to you. It's up to your client and the relationship that you have with that agent. Maybe the agent's done an amazing job and is going to be a lifelong client of these people now, and you only wanted a commission on the first one. That's totally up to you. Okay, you don't have to check multiple, but you have the option there in section 2. And then section 3 is the referral period. Compensation is payable if the event checked in 1B occurs no later than 12 months is the standard. Now, let's say maybe they're gonna take a while to find what they want and you wanna push this out, you can write 24 months in there, or however long you want. It's negotiable in that box. Okay. Timing of compensation, this just lets us know that you are going to get paid after the close of escrow. Okay, any questions on that properties? No? Okay. Now, broker signature, this is the last section, and notice how I put broker signatures in big bold lines. There are a lot of documents that will say broker and you can sign it as the agent, but there are a few that actually need the broker signature, and this is one of them. Okay, so you are not signing this one as the agent. It can also be by your manager. See right here, by broker/office manager. So if you have a referral you're sending out to someone else on behalf of your client, you're going to have Sandra sign this. Okay, and if you receive one from someone else and they're giving you a client, you are going to have Sandra sign this, not you. Okay, so you're gonna put your brokerage right there, the brokerage DRE, your manager's name, the manager's signature, all that. And notice if you're the referring broker, meaning you're giving your client to someone, you need to put the tax ID number right in there. That's how the brokerage gets paid. Okay, and that's gonna be found on the office's W-9. So you're gonna need to include that form with your referral when you send it off. And you can get that by asking me or Laura or Sandra. Okay, and then when it comes back to you, it's gonna you need to make sure it's signed by their broker, not the agent, same thing. Okay, so referrals are signed by brokers or managers only. Our clients don't need to sign it, we don't need to sign it, brokers or managers only. Okay, all right, that is a quick one today. Any questions regarding this? Or others?
Anybody have a question? No, that's a good one to go over though.
Have non,
I always kind of
Contract.
confuse who's the referral.
Oh, yeah.
who do you guys use when you're trying to find an agency out of California? I mean, I have a hard time finding people.
I mean, there's a Century 21 almost everywhere.
Yeah, they are, but like, you'll go to their website and there's no information about them. You don't know who a Centurion agent is. There's like, their website's very antiquated and you can't figure out,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
But if
who
you
you want to refer
if you
to.
call the office, you can always ask for the manager, because I get phone calls sometimes.
Yeah, you can find an office in the area, call them, ask for who would fit well with your type of client. There's always social media.
The Century 21 in Santa Barbara, there's only one there. I've referred them a $1.5 million deal. They didn't get back to me for like a week.
I would have been picking somebody else by
Yeah,
then.
I would've
Mhm.
too.
Well, they ended up selling it and we provided the buyer, which was even funnier. So I was like,
Did you get your referral?
I did.
Yeah.
That was a big referral.
Oh, I have a question
Yeah.
on chat. Hi, sorry, can you please repeat where you should write if there is more than one property involved? Okay, let's close this off my screen. Oh, it's not letting me go back. Okay, so right here, you're gonna check 2C for any and all property transactions specified in 1B. And 1B just is where you check buy, sell, lease, or other.
Did you attach an addendum with addresses or?
You know, I'm thinking that they really, if you have multiple homes to sell, I would do that. Yeah, I would attach an addendum with the actual addresses of which homes, because there really isn't a place to put in the listing addresses.
Good question.
Mhm. Yeah,
Betty.
okay, so the address we have to add is the client address. Yes. Okay, anyone else?
No.
Okay, well, that's it for today then.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yeah, thanks for showing up in person and on Zoom.
Rainy day schedule. And we're gonna get that fully.